just seen Smurfs, so the one where Rihanna is Smurfette, and I try not to be like the clickbaity, rage-hating film reviewers out there now who seem to just hate everything and, you know, this was the worst film ever and I walked out and there, and it just gets a bit boring, I think, you know. Some more positivity, please. So I always try and review things positively, but this was bad. I was just wanting it to end. I kept looking at the time. I was just like, oh God. It just... There was no sort of like funniness to it and... or any like joy. And it was just kind of like a trope story that's just kind of been like done before. So the Smurfs went into the real world, but you didn't see them interact with any people whatsoever. And we've already had this in 2011 and 2013, the live action hybrid Smurf films, which I really enjoyed. That Village one that came out not long ago, I think that was 2017, that was awful. I didn't like that either, but this was probably worse. Rihanna as Smurfette just kind of didn't really give anything. It's just a bit flat. Like, she sang a nice song, but... and James Corden, was in it as like a main role, and I'm like, I don't understand why he's getting more work. I just find him awful, and it just wasn't fun. And like, people will say, oh, it's just a kids film, but there are so many better kids films with like good scripts and, you know, a bit of laughter in, like Dogman I saw earlier this year. I genuinely found parts of that quite funny, and it was endearing and quite charming. And, you know, like Sonic, Despicable Me franchise, Pixar films, Inside Out 2, you know, like good scripts and good characters, and, you know, draws you in a bit. But this, I just wanted it to end, and I just think the whole like, oh, it's just a kids film, I think you kind of, you know, so kids should just get rubbish films then. It was just really bad, and I just wanted it over. And I just think it's just such a shame, because it could have been a lot better. And the biggest travesty, there was no Jokey Smurf. And Jokey Smurf is the best. If you're not aware of Jokey Smurf, he's the one that has the present with him all the time, and he'll give it to a Smurf or an unsuspecting person, and it'll blow up, and then he'll laugh and run off. And, you know, he was nowhere. I was looking out for him because he's always been a favourite, you know, because I used to watch Smurfs when I was a kid, and used to play the video game, and you could actually play as him and blow stuff up. And he was nowhere to be seen. And I just, you know, come on, do better.